Hi there, my name is Pam. I'm from FluentFitnessUK.com. If anyone hasn't met me before, thank you for having a little look at the video. This was part 3 to my top tips to Fab Abs in the newsletter, so if you didn't get the other 2 parts, just drop me an email or Facebook me or tweet me and let me know and I'll get them to you. Part 1 was all about different lifestyle changes you should have. Part number 2 was about the foods that you should start to incorporate into your diet as well, and then this is part number 3 where I'm just going to run through a few basic ab exercises that are suitable for all levels to do, and you can add in some weights. I've got a kettlebell here as well. You can use dumbbells or resistance bands and that as well, okay? If you have got any issues with your lower back, please make sure that you are able to do these exercises first and that you're warm. So you want to do some spinal rotation moves, maybe standing up, roll yourself all the way towards the floor and then back up, so you're getting a little bit of movement through the spine, making sure you're not straining anything and you're thoroughly warmed up, okay? So exercise number 1, we're going to start with lying leg drops. I'm just going to move this kettlebell out of the way. And this one's going to focus on the lower part of your abs. So if you want, you can do this one with me. Lie down and you want to lift your knees. Make sure your knees are bent and your knees come together and your feet come together. Now, if you use your arms as a guide, make sure that the arms are straight here so that the knees come above the hips. When you start to bring the knees in too close, you take the focus off the lower part of your abs. So as they're there, you should start to feel your abdominal muscles working already, and make sure they don't come in any closer. Keeping the knees bent, drop the foot down towards the floor and then bring it back up. Try and keep your head looking upwards so that your spine stays long, okay? To make that one a little bit more challenging, you can keep the feet together, knees together and go with 2 legs together, okay? Make sure that your back stays nice and strong towards the floor. If you find it arches and it's too painful, then go back to do single legs instead, okay? You can make that one a little bit more difficult by adding on a weight. Taking it straight over, and as you drop the legs down, you take the arms over the head at the same time. Okay, or legs together, down again, making sure they're not coming in too close, and then out and back in from there. Okay, so the lower part of your abs, everyone always asks, oh, how do I get rid of this bit down here? That's a good exercise for you. Okay, next one is a seated twist. Feet together, knees together. I'll do it kind of at an angle so you can see a little bit better. You want to lean back first and the arms come out in front. Twist round and then back to the centre, twist round and back to the centre. Now you want to make sure your eyes stay looking forwards so that the twist comes from below your ribs, because when you start to look down, you start to bring the shoulders round a little bit too much to take the focus away. Okay, so there and then there. If you want to add a little bit more challenge, you lift the feet off the floor and twist there instead. Option number 3, again, is to use weight. So don't lean back too much, or you might not lean back as far on this one, simply because if you've got too much weight here, you'll topple over, so you don't want to be doing that. So that's your seated twist, which is going to bring in the obliques, which are the muscles that run down the side of your abdominals. Side bends is a standing exercise. You need to do this one with weight. This is an 8 kilo kettlebell, so if you want you can grab something similar. Start with your feet apart, knees are soft, arm comes up here and you twist, drop down to one side and then bring it back up to centre. So you should feel a stretch here as you're dropping down. Obviously you're doing one side at a time, so there, once you've done your number of reps, change over to the other side. Keep this arm just out of the way so that you're not sort of bringing it all the way back in here, stop in the middle so that you get a rotation to work into the obliques again. Plank position is always good, so start on your elbows. Push your weight forward so the weight comes over the elbows. Lift the knees, tucking the toes under and just hold nice and steady. Try and keep the eyes looking down towards your fingertips, because if you start to look towards your feet, your hips might start to lift, so make sure they don't. Dropping the knees down if you need it a little bit easier as well. Okay, so that's your basic plank on the elbows. You can do a plank on your hands as well. So again, hands under shoulders, push the body weight forwards and then lift the knees off the floor. The further forward you go, the more you'll feel it into your abs. Okay, you've got the option of, in that position, if that's too easy, lift a foot, lift the other foot, lift a hand, lift the other hand. As soon as you take one point of contact away from the floor, you're going to add a little bit more challenge for your abdominals, so that's what you want to do. The final one I'm going to go through is a V-sit. So you start with the hands behind. You can lean back first. Option number one is single knees. So you want to bring the chest and your knee close together. So it's not just the upper body that moves, not just the lower body, but two together. If you can go for both legs, then go for both legs. If you can go with the hands off the floor, go with the hands off the floor. Now you've also got the option, I can't do it here because I'm in my hallway. If you do this in the gym, you can always sit on the edge of a bench, if the bench is long ways, and hold on to the other end, and you can take a weight in between your feet, and that's just going to add a little bit more resistance, okay? So they're basically a few different exercises to work through your core. Your core muscles, you're focusing through the abdominals, which is the kind of six-pack almost, and then your obliques, which are going to run down the side of the abs as well. That's the bit that's going to pull in slightly. The muscles that you want to work through the lower back as well, because you need to have a balance between the front and the back to make sure you're not going to end up with injuries. So all of these exercises work the abs and the back together. So all the kind of abdominal crunches that just focus on the front, try and stay away from exercise like that because it's not going to do any favours for your deep abdominal or your transverse abdominis, which sits right in the middle. That's the one that keeps you upright and keeps your posture. So strong abs, you're aiming for, each exercise you're aiming for between about 15 to 20 reps. If you can do more than 20, you need to advance the move. So you need to think about choosing the harder level, or you need to add a little bit more weight or something like that onto it as well. Be careful when you're using resistance, as in kettlebells or dumbbells. Make sure the moves are quite slow and controlled. Don't batter them out as fast as you can, because then you're not engaging through the muscles on your abdominals, your core, your erector spinae, your obliques and stuff as well. So think about slow movements, perform about 15 to 20 reps. These exercises, if you decided that you wanted to do all of them together, so you would start with, do them in the order that I've done them in. Your lying leg drops, you would start and maybe do, say, 15 to 20 of them, and then move on to do your seated twist, which would be 15 to 20 of them all together. So that would be about 7 to 10 on each side. And then your side bends, again, same, 15 to 20 all together. Your plank, you want to be able to, you're aiming for more than 30 seconds. Hold it as long as you can. If you can hold it for any longer than a minute, then you have to progress the move. So you have to start lifting your feet, lifting your hands, adding a weight onto your shoulders if you can get somebody to place it on for you, etc. And then your V-sits again, about 15 to 20 reps. Doing that is going to target each part of the abdominals, and that should be enough. There's no point in repeating that 2 times, 3 times, 4 times and doing a full sort of half-hour work on your abs. You'll be amazed at how much you use your abdominals. So any other exercises that you do, if you do functional sort of work, and if you do weight training with dumbbells, your abs will be working then as well, and they are like any other muscle group, so you do have to give them a little bit of rest, okay? I hope you found some of the exercises useful. If you do come along to my fitness classes, you will have gone through all of these exercises, and we do them because they're the most basic, and they're really good as well, and they're easy to advance. So if I've got a newcomer and we're doing lying leg drops, I can adjust it for them. Somebody who's a kind of intermediate level, they can do it as well, and somebody who's advanced can also do it, so it's going to work on all levels. That's the reason that they're just pretty basic and we're staying there. If you want to tune in for any more videos, please feel free to check out my website. It's www.flauntitfitnessuk.com. I'm also on Facebook under Flaunt It Fitness UK and Twitter as well. So hopefully you found this a little bit helpful, and I would love any feedback from you. Okay, I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.